Welcome to Otherdex Unlocked. We're going to have an interactive workshop where we're going to unpack the features of a tool that popped up not too long ago in the community called Otherdex. You can find it at otherdex.io. And we are joined by Adam V, who's one of the co-founders from Otherdex, to just be alongside with us as we go through this tool. What's up, Adam?
What's up, guys? Excited about this.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us, and we appreciate everyone that's joining this workshop. We want to be able to just go over some of the tools to keep us all sharp on what tools are available out there for Voyagers, people who are interested in getting the most out of Otherside. We really appreciate you building what you're building. We have builders that are in this audience right now. And also, we came together, have an opportunity to win a little bit of ApeCoin at the end of this too. So we got some questions. If you're familiar with the tools, you'll be able to go through this by the end of it. This should only last about an hour, and win some ApeCoin while you're at it. So we appreciate everyone that's showing up in the audience today. If you have questions, there is a chat icon on, should be on the top right hand corner of your screen if you're on the desktop. You can open that, use the chat throughout. We'll be looking at it. We got Jason the Ape here. He's going to be monitoring the chat as well. Jason, how you doing today, man? Just checking in.
I'm great, bro. I just having lunch, enjoying this, looking forward to learning. Excited that so many friends have stopped by too. So stoked.
Hell yeah. Adam, thanks again for being here. What do you want to share about Otherdex in terms of how it came about?
Yeah, sure. So first, I want to introduce or just shout out my team, who's also in the chat. Shapeshifter is Sam, so he's co-founder and back-end engineer, and then we also have Joko, who is our front-end dev. So it's the three of us. So the idea of Otherdex came about really focusing on the other side map, right? It's really fascinating to us, and just started asking ourselves questions. We're familiar with some of the other metaverses in the past, like your Sandbox and Decentraland, and they share a lot of things in common. There are some effects and some things that go on in those metaverses that it's kind of missing from the other side, just because of how the other side map is drawn, right? So we want to get to a place where we can introduce a cool map, and in order to do that, first we built our aggregator, which is what we're going to review today. That's kind of the idea. I mean, I've been in Yuga since 2021 when I minted my ape, and a lot like a lot of us in here, just kind of just love the space and love building, and that's how we got here.
We can probably unpack the vision for Otherdex a little bit more, even a little bit later, but you talked about the map. How important is discoverability going to be when it comes to discovering things besides just like resources and things? Like, what
Yeah.
else can we expect to discover in the other side?
Right. So, we know that other side will be a social space. So, and in the social context with just real estate, right? Like what matters even in the real world. One of the big ones is who are you next to? Who are your neighbors? What's the distance? And we don't know distances yet,
Mm.
like as far as a unit of measurement. And a lot of these are assumptions, right? Like we're making a big bet here. But if geographic positioning matters and your location matters, and if traveling around Otherside to get from point A to point B, you're actually traveling, then geographic positioning matters. It's one of the challenges in Otherside because it's so abstract, right? It's like a galaxy. It's not like Sandbox where
It's like a
it's
grid.
kind of easy to to locate things, and also just how they're built, right? Like how to find things, right? If you want to find Adidas on the Sandbox map, that's easy because they bought a huge plot of land and they slapped their logo on it. When you look at the other side map as it's drawn now, how do you find Adidas, right? This is one of the problems that we set out to solve. So discoverability as far as like your friends, where they are, how far you are from them. Perhaps you want to shop for deeds and sort by distance to a specific entity or a specific deed. To know that, we need to know the relationship of each deed and all the deeds around it. So just because I own deed 1950 doesn't mean 1951 is next to me, right? It's kind of random, but it in an outward spiral. So scanning all the deeds, assigning neighbors, to each other helps us, put everything in context so we can offer features that, that deal with those things. And then on the brand side, like with the Adidas example, there's a lot of creative solutions, but yeah, without saying too much, we've got a few cool ones, right? That will allow, whether you're a big brand like Adidas, or maybe you're a guild, or maybe you're just an ape who wants more exposure on the map. We have some methods that'll let you do that.
No, that's a really great insight because you compared to Sandbox, and many of us who are familiar with it can just picture that top-down view of the Sandbox plots. And the more that you purchased around each other, like if you bought a group of them, you get a larger
Yeah,
square, which could actually lend itself to better discoverability in that
right.
map, right? More brand recognition, even. And so to think about it from a brand perspective, from communities and sub communities on what they can do to get themselves more exposed on the map side of things is pretty interesting. So, what are we about to look at, as we go through other decks? Where are you guys at now?
Right. So right now, we're going to look at Otherdex. It's essentially an aggregator. So we're aggregating all the other side collections in one place. We've packaged it, and what we feel is like a scalable UI. As far as our sidebars go, our filters go, the ability to kind of get to anything from almost anywhere, with these future features in mind, and also designing mobile first, right? I hate going on the marketplaces on my phone, right? If you've ever opened up OpenSea on your phone, or yeah, they're heavy, and it's just so we took a mobile first approach. Works great on the web also, of course, right? But just playing with different layouts, different components, and so we'll experience that today. Also be able to talk about some of the personalization features that we have coming up, and just some other things on our roadmap that we'll be releasing soon. But yeah, right now it's the two other side collections. It's Otherside Kodas and Otherside Vessels, just kind of packaged into a aggregator.
So we'll jump right in. We'll take a look at it. We'll explore it. We'll do a product walkthrough. Go over the homepage. Maybe go over some of the Otherdeed trait pages that we have. We'll browse Koda traits, browse vessels. What can we do from a Voyager standpoint? And a lot of this, from what I'm kind of gathering as well, is once you become familiarized with some of the tools and the way things work, then your workflow can actually be dictated very dynamically. Like if you have an idea, then all of a sudden you spark something in your imagination where you'd like to, oh, I want to go explore this. There's easy ways from wherever you're at in the site to just quickly go through and explore that idea. We'll get familiarized with the different parts of other decks and some of the UI components. And then we'll maybe go through, along with all of you in the audience, if you have certain scenarios, use cases, something that you're personally working through. Maybe we can kind of go through it together. And then with Adam's expertise, he might be able to just unpack like how he, just a little tidbit here and there of like what you might want to consider while using other decks. So for those that are watching on the Discord, if you see all of our, screens up, you can click on the screen share and it should magnify that window for you. Okay, so this is otherdex.io. What we have here on the top is it looks like you have these collection summary cards, which I can quickly see Otherdeed for Otherside, which is kind of the OG collection for Otherdeeds, right? Prior to them being decoupled. You have Otherdeed expanded. So if you already decoupled your Koda from your Otherdeed, or you claimed your vessel for Legends of the Mara, then your Otherdeed will show up in the Otherdeed expanded collection. You have Otherside Koda, that's the Koda collection. And then you have Otherside Vessels. So we have a good eye on what the vessels are looking like right there. So right up there, you have the collection summary cards. As you kind of go through, you have these carousels that are pretty beautiful. You just kind of scroll left and right. By default, they're sorted by recently listed, but you can quickly switch to floor. Right on this homepage, you'll be able to quickly just see like what are the floor Kodas, what are the ones most recently listed, and then is it pulling it from all the different marketplaces?
Yeah. So if you go into the collection card at the top, the three dots, the little context menu in one of those,
Yeah.
that'll kind of show the sources, but also be able to link out. So we're pulling from Blur, OpenSea, Looks Rare, and X2Y2.
These carousels are pretty cool, and it looks like even right from here, you have it seems that a lot of this is interactive, which we'll get into in just a bit. But just kind of going through to the bottom of the homepage, it looks like we have popular artifacts, and it's separated into tools, which kind of showcases the three categories within the tools. You have rugged tools, forged tools, Koda tools, and then immediately the just right next to it, you see the quantity of that category, as well as the percentage? What are we looking at with this right here?
Yeah, so that's the percent listed.
Percent listed, got it. And then you have the floor price. And if you click on that, you'll immediately get this kind of popover that will showcase the floor for that particular category. But you have tools, you got critters, you have orbs. So those are some of the most popular artifacts at a glance that you'll be able to quickly take a look at. And then you have rare resources right over here. And then you know, dimensional, fragmentia, stonecrop, galactica. And then rare resources, you separate them by tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Would you mind maybe just talking about that? What do we mean by tier 1, tier 2, tier 3?
Yeah, so all resources occur in three tiers, right? Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So when you have no tier filter applied, it's ranking them 1 through 15 based on their total supply. It's interesting, once you apply one of the tier filters, the total supply, therefore the rankings actually change. So when you go to tier 3, stone crop becomes the rarest resource. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the same kind of theme as before, which will be throughout when you look at traits, is we've got the supply, the listed percentage, and then the price. And the listed percentage, you can always hover over it to see a tooltip of the actual number. And that stands even for the collection cards at the top. You know, sometimes when we represent things in a percentage, it's nice to also see that value.
That's awesome. So this is the big takeaway for me was it's the percentage listed, which makes sense. So yeah, each resource has, you know, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 on the actual other deed. You can kind of see how, like in this particular case, you got Psycho Silk, it's a tier 3. So, you know, it's nice to see that the resources are kind of quickly available and listed here. And then you got the footer down here, which kind of has just easy access to links, place you can offer feedback as well over here on the right hand side. That is the homepage. Is there anything else that I missed? Oh, obviously we have search address, which we can go over in a little bit. But when you come up here, you can quickly type in your ENS address and you know, be able to access the wallet inventory for that particular address.
The only other thing I'd say is in the footer in the bottom left corner, you can toggle to light mode if you prefer that.
Nah, no one wants to do that, dude. Come on now. All right, so this right here, I see. Oh my gosh, my eyes. I'm just kidding. You know, we got a comment from Big J, like really clean design, works really well. It seems that, you know, it's very responsive in terms of just being able to view it on mobile or on an iPad. So, that's really cool to see. What we can maybe do first is browse the other deeds and just kind of understand what we are doing when we're going through the other deeds. Shall we go into one of the collections?
Yeah, so two ways to do it. One is to go through either of those browse buttons in the collections. The other way is just at the very top of the menu, you can hit other deeds and you'll land right on the browse page.
Okay, great, because I wanted to see both other deed collections combined.
So then you'd want to do where you are now. If you were to click either or the other, the filter of that collection will be applied, which is really easy to take away, but
Okay.
that's the difference.
If you're like, I don't care if it's within the OG collection where it still has a vessel to claim, or if it's in the expanded collection, this is probably the easiest way to quickly get to explore other deeds without having to readjust the filter. So immediately it's filtered by which ones are listed. And as you explore it, you can certainly explore it right from there. But chances are you're going to have some ideas for what you're looking for. I think if there's anyone that's searching for a deed, or we don't want to front run you or anything like that, but if you have some filters that you are interested in exploring, throw them into the chat. If you want to take a look at that. I have a couple of myself. I have like a few deeds, and I'm looking more on like sediment type distribution, and I'm missing infinite expanse. And so I'm looking at sediment tier 3, infinite expanse. Those are a couple of things like filters that I know I would want to start with. So why don't we go through that? So what's the easiest way? Seems like there's a filter button right here.
There's two methods, both the same, but that's probably the best one. Yeah.
All right. So if I go over here, you get the filter, and that pops up the different filters that you would have. So if I go to sediment, tier 3, infinite expanse, boom. That's like a quick way I'd be able to do that. In this particular case, you can continue to do this, collapse the filters, and just browse from here. So all of these are sediment tier 3 and infinite expanse, and we know that because on the very top left of each of these deeds, you'll also see the 3 dots indicating tier 3 and infinite indicating infinite expanse. So let's see what happens when I click on one of those. This side drawer actually pops up and it breaks down and gives us an overview. It looks like we have the initial supply for how many deeds have infinite expanse, how many holders there are, and looks like if you hover over it, it has the percentage, and then how many are listed and the floor price. And then you get an overview of the listings right here, as well as the holders, and obviously the price on the right hand side. So what's kind of neat about this that I thought is, as I'm exploring some of this, if I don't want to lose this particular search because I'm in the middle of exploring it, I should still be able to explore some of these other things while I'm searching without having to lose it, because it does pop over the screen, which is kind of nice. And so what are we seeing here, like as we click on some of these things? So if I'm like, okay, there's sediment tier 3, let me click on this. And we're seeing the floor one right here automatically. And so it just quickly shows you the sediment, the supply, holders listed, and the price, the environment. And then you have even a list for the obelisk pieces that it's unlocked. Anything to do with the map, which is kind of cool. A quick glance at where it's at. Is this where we can expect like some more future revisions right here?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this is, this is our static map. This will soon become interactive. And a few things about this item window. If you go back to the trait table, the first thing that I love is the glow behind the item window always matches the sediment color. So we're in a blue.
This glow right here, this blue.
Yeah. And then we'll never show, in this case, in the item window, we show the sediment and the tier combined. So the supply that we're looking at in those metrics, supply holders listed, that's tier 3 infinite expanse.
Okay.
Because it doesn't make a lot of sense to show them separately, right? Same for resources. Any of these properties that have a tier associated with them, they'll always be coupled with their tier in those item windows. Yeah, I mean, and that's about it in the
Cool.
in the item window. We have up at the top where the number is 59586.
Yeah.
We use this E icon. This always just represents expanded, right? So anytime you see that in the interface, it's expanded. Similar for Kodas, you'll see a D, which means decoupled. So we have these just small icons where once you learn what they mean, it's pretty straightforward. And then the last thing I'll say is in the sidebar here, if you open up a side, any of them, yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'll click on Brimstone.
Yeah, so in that top one, let's say resource tier for Brimstone, the prices in the first block, you can actually filter within that. So if you wanted to hit the filter, you could, apply filters just to update the content in that box.
As I'm going through this, one of the things I like to see as I'm browsing is if there's any like anema or ore resources. It looks like we have vapor haze that's sitting over here, which is an ore category.
So for example, if you wanted to see what is that's the resource, the price for each tier globally. But if you hit the little filter up there, on any of those, yeah, you can isolate it down to say biogenic swamp. And then apply. And now you'll get
that filter applied in this particular thing right here where you're not getting any tier 1s for sale.
Right.
That are biogenic sediment tier 1 vapor haze. This is only for sale for tier 2 and tier 3.
You could filter the little listings or and then, so while you're here, I mentioned earlier, there's a neat way to apply a filter. And it's like this. So right now on the browse page, right, you've got infinite expanse sediment tier 3. Now you've opened up vapor haze on the right.
Yeah.
You see the button on the top corner, apply filter?
Oh yeah, right up here.
Yeah, you could just click that and it'll do just that. It'll apply the filter to your browse.
Very cool. All right. Is there currently a way to save this right here where I can quickly go back and revisit this?
So today, no. Very soon, yes. Soon you'll be able to save filters. And what's interesting in this case is when you save a filter, you're pretty much just creating a new trait, right? So it's just a combination of traits. So how you view your saved filters will be very familiar, to looking at regular traits.
I love that. And you know what? As my mouse is in my right hand, I got my left hand just hovering over the escape key because I notice it says escape here. And if I press that, I would imagine that disappears real quick. So as I'm quickly browsing some of this, I see escape. I could quickly press that on my left hand. So it just makes it really efficient. So I kind of like that. A Raving Ape said, let's see those environment 4+ environment, sediment tier plus, sediment 2+, and chemical goo sediment. So I want to do that. Let's see how that works out. So I'm coming over here. We're going to environment tier 4 and 5. So if we want to see 4 and 5, we can do that. And then chemical goo sediment right here, at least 2 or 3. So I'll go ahead and collapse that so we can maximize our browsing experience. Man, it is beautiful when you start going to environment tier 4 and 5 immediately. Like it makes the page so beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
So what are we seeing here? We're seeing that the floor is 0.45 for a chemical goo sediment tier 2 on Thornwood. And then it looks like you have all of them just kind of listed out. Let's see if there's any that looks pretty valuable. I mean, even just the fact that the floor difference, like 0.45 and then it jumps to 0.69. So if I'm checking this out, oh, this is pretty cool too. Like as I'm hovering over the other deed, it just kind of magnifies it. So this is kind of neat because I can quickly look at the actual face of it. And there's like lots of little details that they have on the actual deed itself. So this is kind of nice where you don't have to open it up in a new window and just quickly browse, even though all this information is right over here. So this is awesome. You see the holder as well. Let's say I wanted to go through and see what this holder has. You know, I'd be able to click on it. And now it's kind of taking us into the Voyagers category. So maybe if you don't mind, we can go over kind of the different areas of the Voyagers overview and kind of take a look at some of those things as well. So when you click on, you know, we started off from the other deed, but then we clicked on the person who owned it, and it showed blue Koda, and immediately it's already showing the map and it's laying out all the deeds that they have in that wallet. And so you get a glance: 15 other deeds, 2 Kodas, 22 resources, 2 artifacts, 14 vessels, 2 enchanters, 6 farms, 6 hunters. Pretty awesome. And then you see the 2 little Kodas down here quickly. And when you click on it, you get that. It looks like you match the color of the Koda background with the overlay as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is really interesting. And you know what? This is kind of where, let me go to my address. And if you guys would like me to kind of take a look at your address, let me know in the chat. You know, we can kind of do an analysis and just kind of look at do an overview of your collection. So here's mine. This is my deed distribution on the map. And this is interesting. I didn't even know that these two were so close with each other. So that could be something. I'm really proud that, you know, I was able to claim one in the biogenic swamp. I got a couple of chemical goo, which is highlighted in green right here. But one of the things I've mentioned as I was going through the filters is I was looking at sediment distribution. And if I look at the collection progress at a glance, it says I have 4 out of 5 sediments. That's going to bug me. I have 6 out of 29 environments. You know, 13 out of 74 resources. I only have 1 artifact, and I got all 3 vessel types. But I want to go into the sediment. So if I go to collection progress and I click sediment distribution, right here you can see that I have 1 biogenic swamp, 2 chemical goos, 2 cosmic dreams, 0 infinite expanse, and 1 rainbow atmos. And so that is one of the reasons why I'm looking for something that's infinite expanse. If I was to break it down even further, one of my other strategies is in Legends of the Mara, there are different leaderboards that you can compete in, and those leaderboards are separated by environment tiers. So if you have an environment tier 1, you're competing with all the other game boards or other deeds that are environment tier 1, and that would have a supply of rewards that's allocated for all the people competing with environment tier 1 deeds. And the same goes for 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if I want exposure to all the different leaderboards, I can go to environment tier distribution, and I can see right here that I am not exposed to the environment tier 4 leaderboard for Legends of the Mara. And so that could be something I can add into that filter of a sediment tier 2. I mean, a sediment of infinite expanse and a tier
Tier
4
4.
environment. And so that's one of the things where I'm kind of looking now in terms of honing in on my search for a really good value with those particular traits on a deed.
So I can show you how to do it from this page.
Yeah, please.
So down below, right? It starts with Kodas, but if you go to the next one is sediments, right? So here's your sediment breakdown, just in a different visual, and we can see that what is it, infinite expanse is out of stock. That's a trait, so you can click it.
Yeah.
Now you have your sidebar, and now you could filter in one of those box, in the price box by environment tier 4. If you wanted to, check the price of what that up at the top, or there even, right? In any of those, you could filter those boxes to be environment tier 4.
Wait, where am I doing environment tier 4?
So maybe in listings is probably the best here. So the listings, go to the
Okay.
filter. Yeah. And now environment tier 4, right?
I got it.
Yeah. And that's your kind of listings wall, right?
That's pretty cool. So I can at least not have to leave this page and still be able to do that filter right here. Even if I wanted to expand it, I can go in here. Oh, it already carried over and just expanded it, which is cool.
And if you wanted to browse, you would just hit the button in the top, browse other deeds, and that would bring you right to browse, ready to go.
Awesome. Awesome. And even though I didn't do the filter that I did before. So let's say environment. Oh, this is cool. While we're here.
Yeah.
So we have the different sediments. And then we got the different environments, and it shows every single environment with a little ticker on how many I have for those environments. As you can see, I've tried to get at least one of, I'm not trying to double up. And so, yeah, even when I'm looking for like an infinite expanse sediment, environment tier 4, I also probably don't want to have those particular environments so I can have a different look. You know what I mean? And so this is pretty cool. It shows out of all the different environments which ones you have, which ones you don't. You can even do the status and say like which ones do you not have, and see all the ones that are out of stock, or which ones do you have and see the ones that you do have in stock. And then same for resources. So what are the in-stock resources that I own or that this user owns? And then what are the resources, what are just all of them? You can hover over it and it gives you a quick glance at, hey, you have this two of these brimstone resources. One's a tier 3, one's a tier 1. So that's pretty cool. And then artifacts. And I think if I go to status in stock, it'll just show me the one artifact that I have. Womp womp. And what I liked about what you just kind of shared was, let's say I click on infinite expanse because I'm noticing like, oh shoot, I have a 0 here. When I click on that, the drawer opens. I can immediately be like, you know what? Show me the sediment tier, or sorry, listings, environment tier 4, sediment tier 3, and then if I don't select any of these collections, that will show both, right? Okay, so
Sure.
I don't even need to mess with that. So I hit apply, and immediately it shows it here, sediment tier 3, environment tier 4, and then I can hit browse other deeds, and it should, I guess it didn't apply both of those. It just did the sediment.
Yeah, because the multi filters you just applied were just for that box.
Okay.
So when you go to browse other deeds from the trait sidebar, it's just going to apply that trait.
Okay, cool. No, this is really great, and I'm catching up on the chat right now. I see Shapeshifter kind of mentioning a few things. Adam, do you want to fill me in on what he's saying? I'm trying to catch up. Use the
So we're getting a lot of questions. we're getting a lot of questions about like support for delegated and multi-wallet, and yes, both are in development right now. So
Okay. So if I
perhaps
put
next
in
week,
an address
maybe.
right now, it's not showing the assets that were delegated for a cold wallet
Correct.
or something from a cold
Right.
wallet. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a control. So you can go look at any wallet address and just see what it holds, and then you could display delegated incoming delegations in addition, and it will refresh the page to include everything.
Okay, awesome. I see Toronto offered their wallet, so we're gonna put in Toronto's wallet right here and take a look.
Wow.
Wow. So, what was your first initial impression when you saw this, Adam? And when you said, "Wow," what did you look at?
No, I mean you got 15 deeds, right?
I noticed
So
the
we can
map. I noticed the map.
yeah, no,
I'm
the map.
like, yo, like you got 4 deeds right in the center. That's crazy.
Yeah, 4 biogenic deeds. What's the sediment distribution on this one? From
So
the drop
yeah,
down.
I actually,
Or
what's
you can look at it there,
interesting,
yeah.
it already had it lift sediments here, so it
Yeah.
already knew I was kind of interested in looking at those.
Yeah, if
And
you don't own any Kodas, it'll automatically load on the sediments.
oh, cool. All right, that's how it went there. Okay, cool. And then yeah, I could actually go to sediment distribution here as well.
Yeah.
So we got 4 in the bioswamp, 7 in the chemical goo, 2 in the infinite
Wow.
expanse, 2 rainbow atmos, and then 0 cosmic dreams. So that could be something too, like just getting a little bit of exposure to that sediment. But cosmic dream is a tough sediment to kind of come by, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, Cosmic Dream is what Yuga and all of the partners were allocated, right? So they own the bulk of those.
Let's take a look. Let's go to the first wallet. If I go to Voyagers, browse Voyagers, click here, we can see the maps loading. There it
There
is.
it is.
So this is their map. Let's see the sediment distribution. Look at
Right.
that. Look at the sediment distribution for Yuga's wallet, which is what they allocated initially. And mind you, this changed recently because they
Yeah.
did transfer a ton of deeds, which we'll take a look at into a different wallet. But the majority of these are cosmic dreams and they're not listed. So I thought that was really, really interesting, you know. And then you quickly see the breakdown for what they have. Now, when I click on this is just all of them in general, not just the ones for Yuga. If we look down here, these are the ones just in that wallet.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. And then going back to browse Voyagers, here's that new wallet. And yeah, you can see even the sediment distribution is specifically Cosmic Dream and Infinite Expanse.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting.
Well, I was just gonna say, so what you can do from here now, so this is kind of the overview, right? But if you wanted, there was a question earlier, like how can I see the actual deeds and maybe filter what's expanded, what's not expanded. So to the right on the sub menu, you got overview, and then next to it is other deeds. Up at the top there, you see overview. You see other deeds next to overview.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where once you have if you start on the very left, that's where you browse Voyagers, select a Voyager, now you're in the overview, and then if you continue moving,
Oh, so I could go to other
right or
deeds.
left, exactly. Now, if you click that, you'd go to the actual NFT browser, but this is all Yuga stuff.
Ah, so I see right over here it says Yuga
Right,
Labs new, and this is the sub menu right here. So if you're under Voyagers, you immediately go into the overview once you click or search for a particular Voyager, and
right.
then you can go through the other deeds, the Kodas, and the vessels. No vessels for them. So let me actually go back to Toronto's wallet and go to Otherdeeds right here.
There you go. And you can filter, full filters, just like we looked at earlier when you're browsing all of their
Right
deeds. So
here.
if you wanted to, exactly.
Awesome. Well, immediately I can see, whoa, talk about vapor haze. Look at this
Wow.
deed right here. It's got a lot of vapor haze in here.
He's got to be a top holder.
That's pretty cool, you know. And then yeah, I'm noticing like here's those biogenic swamp ones. You got sticky cauldron, mystic triangles as some of those resources. If you click on it, you get more information on that. So I kind of like the fact that these drawers pop up so I don't have to lose my kind of space if I want to explore something, you know? So that's really cool. But yeah, even with the sticky, that's 0.52 floor for that, which is pretty good considering the overall floor. Yeah, you can kind of see the top holders for that particular resource as well, which is cool. So if I went to Vapor Haze, these would be the top holders right here.
Yeah, and we got to expand that list. We can show everything, but for now it's just
nice. And I saw Raving Ape mentioned, you know, Raving Ape has mostly what's it called? Cosmic Dream. So that's awesome.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm sure
That's
Raving
cool.
Ape he said, interesting, 30% of my deeds are Cosmic Dream. What devs were dumping on me, I wonder. No, this is really cool. Why don't we go and talk about some Kodas? So we're still in Voyagers. Let me go over to Kodas on the very top.
Yeah.
And so with Kodas, as we're browsing Kodas, we see that the trait sidebars, or you know, as you hover over it, you can get the traits that pop up. And what's cool is one new thing that you recently added was the color. What do you think? Why don't you talk about that? You know, why do you think it is important to have the color as one of the metadata traits that you allow for filtering?
Yeah, I mean, we just, identified it as a system, just one that, hadn't really been explored much. So I think in the NFT space, we're so used to like colors on these NFTs, the backgrounds, right? Just being random, kind of like apes and mutants, right? But with Kodas, it's a little different, and you start to see some thematic patterns. So, for example, you're on the blue filter there. It's a variety of heads, it's a variety of cores. Heads and cores are what dictate the background color. Sometimes it's just the head, sometimes it's the head and core combination. But we feel, at least when you do this, you start to see, like, we don't see any fire or any flames in this view, right? It's in the blue stuff. If you were to filter the orange instead of the blue, now things get a little hotter, right? So we don't know what they mean yet, but we were able to, pick it apart to
Yeah.
put this feature together, and we're not sure what to make of it yet, right?
Well, we do know Kodas have an affinity for their environment. You know, I don't think it's just completely arbitrary where, you know, they just say, oh, let's pick a random color and put it on the background. There's so much, you know, detail that they put into this collection. It's one of the most beautiful, complex collections in my opinion. And we do notice, like, even for those that have been tapping in with, you know, our discussions with the 288 gang and with Bad Teeth on thematic rarity, there's so much that's correlating. Even if you look at the megas, and then you start to see that there are certain heads and certain cores that actually feel like, yo, those go together, whether it's through the naming convention, whether it's through the actual aesthetics of it. A lot of those start to tie in with each other. You know, if anyone has a particular coda that they want us to just maybe explore, throw it into the chat. I want to kind of dissect some of the traits for that Koda, and then maybe compare it to, you know, one that we think would be really cool to see. Thank you, C Rock. We're gonna take a look at 6263. Ooh, very nice Koda. Look at those eyes. Yeah, and these like antlers. So what are we looking at here? We got the clothing. That's how is this listed right now? Is this just by alphabetical order? I see it says trait here.
Yeah, so you're sorted A to Z by default, but they're sortable, so you could sort by
Floor price.
price if you'd like to. Sure.
Okay, so floor price of the clothing is 11 ETH. Floor price of this clothes. Let's do it by supply. So the clothing only has a 44 supply. And
Yeah,
is this supply just in decoupled or across both?
across both.
Okay, cool. So that clothing is actually pretty rare. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's probably why the floor price for that clothing is pretty high. The eyes mesmerize, which was another thing that immediately caught my attention. There's only 50 Kodas with those eyes. And then you got the cave crystal head, 116 of those. The core caged geminite, 174, and then the color type gray. So really cool Koda. I like this one a lot, actually.
You know, on topic here, so like if you close this window, this little item window, right? Along the top, we're at browse Kodas right now. To the right are all the traits. So to look at or analyze a trait category, these pages are dedicated, you know, to do that, just to have a deeper look if you wanted to. So what we do here is we display the Koda. We're focused on the heads here, and we're sorted by floor price, low to high. The thumbnail that we display is the lowest listed Koda with that trait, or the lowest token ID if there's not a Koda listed with that trait. But one of my favorite things to do is to go to list view. At the top, you can actually switch the view by the sort button.
This right here.
Next to it. There you go. Yeah. So any of the traits, you know, so now we've isolated down to just Koda heads, and we could look at, you know, all the data in this context.
I see you got the 24-hour volume, the sales, supply, holders listed, and the price. Pretty cool. I have a fluffy head. I think that's what it's called. All ears. That's why.
There you go. Yeah.
I have all ears. Let me go back to this view. Actually, it just opened up here. So I'm going to hit browse Kodas on the top right, and that would automatically come up with the search.
No listings.
Oh, so no listed. So let me uncheck listed. And here we go.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
immediately I'm seeing, I didn't even sort by background color, but I'm seeing all ears have all blue backgrounds.
Right.
So that is one thing that's tied to every single all ears one.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just going back to the thematic, you can see some of these cores pop up several times with all ears, but you know, there's probably one that is really tied to it. And that's what's kind of hard to kind of understand at first, because you don't really know right off the bat which one is like the most tied to this particular head. So a lot of things to uncover, for this collection. We don't know the intention behind it. And so I think that's what is so mysterious about Kodas. As you get to go through this collection, you can make assumptions and whatnot. But some of these have some sort of like, you got like these scales, the scales on the arm right over here. They look like they have some sort of water kind of affinity. You know what I mean? And so maybe there's like, for certain traits and certain attributes that they could have some potential buffs in certain environments, maybe some that have water or something like that. So we don't know yet, but that's what's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at them all, like the themes we can kind of see, like, it's kind of like Pokemon, right? It's like all Kodas are like natural.
Too, by the way, the little GG badge, just so you can quickly see that.
Yep, that'll indicate that. But if you see, like, the green Kodas, so actually something you can do at the very top, the color type table. So if you go there, now you can analyze by color type. So if you sort by supply, for example, you can start to understand, the distribution among Kodas. And this really, became apparent to me that pink Kodas are rare. you know, yeah, I mean, that's like really rare. And then everything else. Orange is the most common.
Dang, I got blue.
I'm gray. So yeah, this is a neat way to look at it.
This is interesting. And then going back over here, browse Kodas, that will actually open those up. So yeah, these pink ones.
I think was it Waldo? I think he's here. Is he? Or he was here. He's got a pink Koda, so he was stoked to find that out. Yeah, I think it's cool.
That's pretty cool. Let me see if I can open up ItzBermuda. He said 5731. Looks like it's decoupled. He got the codependent on there. We see it's owned by ItzBermuda. This weapon, whoa, 10 of them. And there's 10 different holders of it. None of them are listed.
Very rare. What is it? The claw?
Yeah, the claw.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool weapon. Yeah, the clothing, which is pretty cool as well. That one's pretty rare. But this is, nice Koda you got there, dude, with the orange background. So I love it, man. Well, we went through Otherdeeds, we went through Kodas, we went through Voyagers. Let's talk quickly about Vessels. Not a whole lot with Vessels yet because they have yet to hatch, but it looks like we do have the ability to browse Vessels. The trait sidebars work on here as well. Like if you hover over it, you can see, okay, Hunter, bam, you get the sidebar with all the Hunter information available right here. Overview, listings, holders. You can use the filters right in line with this if you want to, in this case, hey, show me the hunters with a codependent. Bam. And then quickly see the listings right over here. If you want to apply that filter to your main search, you can hit apply filter on the top right hand corner and you'll be able to do that. It automatically adds that hunter role over here. I can exit that out. Click on the little filter icon on the top left if I want to just quickly maybe go through and just be like, let's take a look at some enchanters and farmers. So you'd be able to do that, go through it, clicking on a specific one. Wow, look at this. V Strange Koda. Is this V Strange? Is this our the old Yuga CEO? Who knows? I guess we could take a look at the wallet, right? 41 Otherdeeds. Damn. This is pretty cool. But who knows if this is actually V Strange, the ex-CEO of Yuga Labs. If I'm not mistaken, right? Am I right in that? V Strange, anyone? But yeah, this is pretty cool. Looks like there's an enchanter listed for 0.36. What's the enchanter floor right now?
Well, yeah, go to rolls. Hit rolls right next to browse.
Okay, cool. Instead of going through these filters, I can just go.
That'll give you your quick comparison.
Thank you. And this is what's great about this is just hearing your insight, how you would use this. I think is only going to make all of us a little more efficient. So I think one big takeaway for me is getting used to this sub menu, being able to go through that sub menu. instead of always
We-
manually doing the filters.
Yeah, for sure. And we didn't look at them on the other deeds, but it's a theme throughout the whole UI, right? So every collection, first you'll land on the browse page, but you can always go into those those sub pages. That one's not too exciting, but if you go to like environments, right? Here you go. You got the category filters along the top. You can look in list view if you want to see more columns of data, or you can stay here
I
in
like
gallery
the
view.
categories. You know, if I go to Spirit, it immediately shows me all the different Spirit ones. If I'm like, oh,
So
you know what? Let's do
yeah,
environment
there you go.
tier 2, and the icons update with environment tier 2. Let's do 4.
That's one of my favorite flows. Like I'm looking for top tier environments. Sediment tier 3, environment tier 5. So I'll come right to here and go sediment tier 3. Oh,
Sediment tier 3, environment tier 5.
you already had it on there. Just go back
Oh,
or apply that one again. There you go. So here's something that's neat. In the filter chip, right? So right now you have sediment tier 3, environment tier 5. All the metrics updated. So now we're looking at the prices and the supply with those filters
in
applied.
Spirit, right? So I can go back to all.
Yeah, you can go back to all, and now we're looking at all top tier
Okay.
data. But in the filter chip is interactive. So you can go right up to the environment tier 5 filter chip and click 5 and bounce it down to 4 if you want.
Oh, cool.
So you really don't have to reopen the sidebar if you don't want to.
Oh, that's pretty dope. I like that. I like little things like that where, you know, had I not known that, this just makes it a little more efficient for me to just keep exploring.
Yeah.
So that's
So
cool.
yeah, I'll come here and I'll check these out. I'll go into list view and I'll see if there's any, of the lower supply environments near the top of the list, meaning they're cheaper, and it's just really easy to identify.
Awesome, man. No, this is really great. I hope that so far as people have gone through this, we didn't go through every single thing. We have resources that you can go through. You can use the same UI. Like I said, once you kind of understand the way the site works, then you can apply a lot of this to whatever it is that you're looking at, whether you're looking at a particular resource, a sediment, a type of deed, a Koda trait, a vessel. You'll be able to kind of get familiarized with the different functions. If you have searches and you're starting to be like, yo, you know what? Like, I love resources that are sediment tier 3. And as you go through this, you can click on the filter chip right here and quickly change it. I love how the icons update as well, which is cool.
And the ordering changes because you're sorted by price right now when you're in tier 3, but when you switch it to tier, or just by manipulating that filter chip, right? Because that's why they look like they're bouncing around a little bit, because it's actually like right now in tier 3's Shatterfrost is the cheapest ore, but if you go to the filter chip and bring it to like tier 2. Oh, no, back in the chip, back in the filter chip. There you go. Now jump to 2, and now whatever that is actually the Moss Moon is the cheapest because that's cheap, right? So they changed positions in the ordering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then if I do supply, you know, we're seeing dimensional, like, yeah, and you can quickly do ascending or descending right here. And that's why there's up and down buttons.
Yeah.
Really awesome. Well, you know what I think it's time for? I think it's time to see if people can actually effectively and efficiently use this tool. And why don't we give out some ApeCoin? What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. If you have any questions and you would like to come up, you know, feel free to begin to cue yourself. We're going to go through a few questions that we have for you all and, you know, have an opportunity to win some ApeCoin. You guys ready for this? Hell yeah. Love to see it. Love to see it. So give me 1 second. I'm going to switch screens. I got some questions for you all. All right. So we got a pop quiz for you all. Okay. We have a few questions. And with these questions, you'll be able to win 5 ApeCoin per question. Now, if someone is really, really efficient at this, Adam, I want to just consult with you real quick. Should we allow people to win multiple times? And if so, should we cap it? Like,
Yeah, let's cap it at 2.
okay, so you can win up to 2 times, and each question will do 5 ApeCoin.
Let's do it.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So let's get this one started. And now the idea here is load up otherdex.io first. Once we ask the question, the first person to put in the correct answer into the other stage chat in the Discord, we're going to go by the order of whoever put it in first into the chat. And then Otherdex team, you cannot participate in this. I apologize. But yeah, let's go. You guys ready? All right, here we go. What is the total supply of Kodas with orange color type? Sorry for the misspelling. That's my bad. Oh, damn. Wait, we have ItzBermuda with 1621.
Nice.
And the answer is 1621, dude. Good stuff. This is awesome. Congrats.
He's Bored Ape, orange color type.
Yeah. Oh, he's all about the orange now. You know, his Koda, his Bored Ape. Yeah. Congrats. You won yourself 5 ApeCoin. Let's go to the next one. Who is the top holder of the Koda head levitating lava?
Boom.
Frosties with Chairman Ape. Congrats, Frosties. You won yourself some ApeCoin. You got 5 ApeCoin. Good stuff, Frosties. Love to see it. Love to see it. All right, next one. How many Otherdeeds in the chemical goo sediment have an artifact?
Top shot. Oh, no, not top shot. I spoke to a screen.
Bastard. You got it. 4,292.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. And next one. Animoca brands hold 73 out of 74 resources. Which one are they missing?
There they go.
Yo, C-Rock with Galactica. Nice. Otherknock came in right after too. Damn. Yo, how did you find that info? ItzBermuda is asking. C-Rock, would you mind just sharing briefly how you found that? That's awesome. All right, next one. Which background colors does the berry bomb Koda core occur? Dang, you can.
So I think it's berry bomb, right?
Berry bomb.
The berry bomb core.
Which background colors does the berry bomb Koda core occur? Yep. Make sure you're using the right terms. We need it clear.
No, they're not.
Pink and red. We're going to give that to Otherknock because he wrote it nice and clear. Good stuff. Let's go. Bastard. Yeah, man. We didn't know what you were doing over there. All right. He's listing 3 colors. All right. That's it, you guys. We appreciate the little pop quiz. I gotta go back. Let me just list it out right now. Make sure we know who we owe some ape coin to. So the first winner was it ItzBermuda?
Yeah.
ItzBermuda with the 1621 color
Frosties.
type. We got Frosties.
Yeah.
Who
We
won
got
the chairman ape, the top holder of the Koda head levitating lava. And then we got how many other deeds in the chemical goo sediment have an artifact? 4292. Was that Bastard?
Yep.
We got Bastard with that one. And then we have Animoca Brands holds 73 out of 74 resources. Which ones are they missing? It was Galactica. Who did we have for that one?
That was Other Not.
We got Other Not. And then finally, Pink and Red. Who had that one?
Other Not.
Other Not one too?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Well, I was just gonna say we didn't have any double winners, but yeah, Other Not.
There
Oh
it
wait,
is.
he's saying he didn't win.
Oh,
Hold on.
Z-Rock. Yes. There we go. Thank you, Other Not. What a class act.
Dope.
Awesome, you guys. Other than that, Adam and your team, thank you for coming through. This community is really passionate about just making sure they're staying sharp on all the things that are moving in the other side and how we can get the most out of our experience here. Anything you want to just be able to share, anything the community can look forward to, please, the floor is yours.
Yeah, no, I just want to thank all you guys for coming and especially thanks to, the OtherSpace team just for hosting us here. It's really great. Ever since we launched Otherdex just a couple of weeks ago, all the feedback's been great. I mentioned a few things that we're building, the multi-wallet support, being able to see things that are delegated to you, being able to save your filters, things like that. And then just look out for the map. We're working on the map. Can't wait to share it with you. We're not too far away. Give us a follow on Otherdex on Twitter and stay up to date and reach out anytime. Love meeting people in the community and just hope to see you guys all soon.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for attending. We appreciate it. Thank you, Adam and team, for helping us unlock Otherdex and just get the most out of this tool. We're excited to see all of this continue to unfold and the future iterations for it, especially with the map. And once again, thanks for pulling up, everyone. Really appreciate your participation in this. We'll do it again soon. Thank you, everyone.
Sure.
Peace.